Today we're going to cover, I guess, draining your septic tank. So Bertha wants to learn how to do all this stuff, so I told her I'd show her. And the best way to do this, it would be to create a couple videos for her. In the meantime, I might as well put it out there for everybody. So there's like 3 ways you can check to see if your tank is full. You've got your button for your level measure inside. You can take a flashlight and look down the tube of your toilet if that's possible. My toilet, that doesn't work because I've got an offset in my toilet pipe. And the third one is when you flush, water splashes back up like a little geyser, I guess. I'll go in, I'll show you that stuff now. Alright, so the first one is your control unit. If I hit black 1, it shows me that it's full. Now, of course, these gauges, I don't have a black 2, and my grays. My gray 2 shows full. I know it's not. But you never really trust these gauges. Or at least I don't. Alright, that's your first way of telling. Alright, another way to tell is if you have some water in your toilet. And when you flush, I don't know if you caught that or not. Just a little more water. But when you flush, see how it kind of bounced back at us? That means your tank is full because there's the air, the only way the air escaping is coming back up through. So sometimes you can get a really good measurement with that. So that's the second way of telling. Now in some RVs, not ours, you can actually shine a light down the pipe. I don't know if you can see there or not. You can't see ours because it cuts off. It has a slight angle of the pipe as it goes down through. It's got an offset in it. But our last trailer, you can look straight down in. So that would be your 3 ways to tell if your tank's full. So let's wander on outside. Alright, so what I normally like to do is 2 days before we're ready to pull out, what I like to do is close my 2 gray tanks so I can start collecting water in the 2 tanks. So normally when we're just parked for a week or more, I just let those flow. So I'm not building anything up, so I don't have to worry about overflowing the kitchen or the bathroom 2 gray tanks that I have. So, like I said, 2 days before we're ready to go, I like to put water in my grays. I'm taking showers, running the sink. Alright, and the day before we go, I like to pull my black. Now, like I said, when I pull the black, the grays have water in them, so now I am able to clean my stinky slinky with the gray water, so I don't have to worry too much about trying to flush it out really well with the hose afterwards and getting me wet and everything else wet. So, generally what I do is I pull the black and we let things flow, and comes down through your tube. I've got 2 20-footers and I've got the clear plastic at the end, so you can see that lovely brown stuff roll by. I also put this extra shutoff on here so that when we're traveling and stuff and when we disconnect, I can close that and it keeps everything in behind that valve. So when I reconnect next time, I don't have anything coming out leaking on the ground, leaking to me. So that can be a lifesaver. I definitely suggest putting one of those on. I've even thought about adding a second because I use this flush. So I thought about adding a second one to the flush, because what I like to do when I flush is shut off the water supply and let it backfill into the tanks. So, anyways, doesn't take long to empty 55 gallons. So that is done, so you can see. Just very little flowing. So most of that's done, so now what I do is I pull my 2 grays And in doing that, it flushes out the sewer pipe. So again, come back down through. We've got more of a clear water running. And that flushes out the stinky slinky for me. So now I don't have a huge mess to clean up tomorrow when I break this down. Because for the rest of today and tomorrow before we leave, I'll let the gray water just run freely and it'll finish cleaning that. But the bulk of that gray water coming out matches the pipe size of what the black water put out for me. So it's that simple. When you're done, remember to close off your black water tank, because you don't want that just free running. And then from where we go back inside, and we've got to put some water back in the tank and put some chemicals in. So let's go and do that. So actually, before we go inside, let's cover a couple different ways to flush your tank. You've got a black flush on a lot of the rigs now, and my black tank flush has a leak somewhere I haven't found yet. So I've got to find that. It leaks out over the tires somewhere. I did find the check valve for it. The check valve was not what's leaking. So I got to dig in there sooner or later. But to me, it's not a huge issue because I back flush using that clear plastic pipe I showed you. And I also have in here somewhere there it is. I also have this. This goes down inside your toilet itself. You connect the hose to this end. This part here goes down inside the toilet, and it, as water runs through it, it swings around and does a really good job at cleaning up your tanks. That's all I ever did in our old camper because that was the only option we had. So otherwise today I can use this. This goes on there. You connect the hose to here, and you can back flush your tanks that way. It doesn't work. It works if you let your tanks fill, but there's never enough water pressure to spray water way up inside the tanks. So I usually do that, and I close the valves and let the water backfill in the tanks and then run it out and let it fill and run it out. Now I don't do this every time that I dump my black tank, just because I personally don't think it's needed. I do it every 3 times or so, 3-4 times, so once a month, let's say. I flush it out really well. But I figure if we move enough, everything in the tank is moving around and becoming liquid. It's not staying a hard poop pile. You know what they call that, a stalactite, or is it a stalagmite? Stalactite because it's tight to the ceiling, right? Stalagmite because it might touch the ground. So anyways, typically we don't have that build up, but any one of those 3 methods helps get rid of that poo pile that's in there, that poo pyramid as some people call it. So anyways, let's go inside and put some chemicals in. Yeah, let's go inside and put some chemicals in. I know of 3 options to put water back in the tank. I like to put about 10% back in my tank, so I get a 55-gallon black tank. So I like to put 5 gallons back in. One is to close off the tank and use your black tank flush with just the hose outside, but like I said, mine's leaking, so I'm not using it. Second option is a bucket, fill it, bring it in. This is a couple gallons, so say 3 trips with this, and I put water in. Or the third option, which is typically what I do, is I just fill the toilet bowl about 5 or 6 times, and that gets me about 5 gallons back down the tank. All right, so there's multiple options for which you want to put your tank. You've got the Thetford Campachem, which I have here. It's a liquid form. 1 bottle goes in. This treats 40 gallons, which is about what they all do. So typically I just put 1 bottle in. There's also Happy Camper. I have that. That works really well. And then there's those tablets you put in. I typically throw 2 of those in. And those usually work well. Now I say don't mix them. Usually if I'm going to change it up, I do it after I do a good flushing of the tank. So for now, we're just going to use the Thetford Campachem, and you can get any of this stuff on Amazon. We'll put some links down below. Alright, so typically what I do with the Campachem, or any of these, is I I like to put water in my toilet. If I can get the pedal where I want it, where it just fills. Then I just pour the chemical in. And flush it down. Like I said, I like to put about 5 gallons of water back in. This gives a little movement, keeps it from drying out, and keeps things moving around down there. And especially tomorrow when we're traveling, the water in here will help slush whatever is left in the tank around. So like I said, do this 5 times. You can do it this way, but you have no way to figure out how much water you're actually putting in the tank. It'd be total random guess. So again, I just do this 5 or 6 times, and it puts about 5 gallons of water back in my tank. But typically, that's really all there is to it. Black tanks are not that hard. You know, you got to keep up on them. You got to keep them clean. But other than that, they're pretty simple to maintain, and you know, I would say anybody could do it. So anyways, I hope this video helped. Appreciate if you subscribe to our channel. Check out our links below for our Amazon for getting to the chemicals. And if you liked us, give us a thumbs up. Even if you don't like us, give us a thumbs up. All right. Thank you all, and we'll talk to y'all later.